Hi.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's Monday. It's your Tuesday, but it's our Monday.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Peggy.
And you're watching the Junction Fiber Mill Millcast. Ooh, that was good.
Yeah. So just to be candid, I got up at the crack of dawn to drive here because I went down to New York and flight was canceled yesterday, so didn't want to miss recording the Millcast. No. But I'm a little already.
You made it.
Yes. Yeah. My niece was kind enough to, because long story. Went down to New York with so it was a sisters gathering in Manhattan. My sister Eileen, my sister Liza, who lives in a suburb of New York, and Eileen and I flew down on this very, Cape Air, fabulous, tiny, smooth as could be until the last 5 minutes, and then it's like this, and you're making all kinds of deals.
Are you a nervous flyer?
I've done it often enough when my mom wasn't well and I had to go down regularly.
Yep.
So it's just you make a few deals, But we landed, and that was fine. And my sister met us, Liza met us, and then we went into Manhattan. We had a free place to stay that was fabulous.
Uh-huh.
We went to the Met. The Costume Institute has a show going on at the Met right now called Sleeping Beauty, and it's their ball gowns and other women's wear, high end, starting in the 17th century and then on. And it's sort of categorized by different themes like flowers or whatever. It's absolutely extraordinary.
Wow.
And it's not like going into a museum where there's paintings on the wall. You literally follow a path, and you just couldn't believe sometimes what you were looking at. And part of the reason it's called Sleeping Beauty is some of the gowns they have are laying down because they have deteriorated enough that they can't be propped up.
And these are probably heavy gowns with like
some of them are heavy, or
beads
it's not even about the beads. It's just that the fibers themselves have started to
17th century, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, and some of the things that you're looking at are, from an event 6 months ago.
Okay.
It's absolutely wild.
Peggy recommends.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And then part of the weekend we were walking through Central Park, which I had never really done before, even though I worked in Manhattan for several years. I just had never done and we just had a terrific time.
Good.
Then got back to fly back Sunday afternoon. Flight was canceled. 0 cars to rent. But anyway, it got solved and we're here.
Family.
Yeah, my so we went back to Liza's house, spent the night, and my niece is just graduated. Her new job doesn't start until August 1st, and she had just gotten home, and I was like, Riley, think you could? Sure. So this afternoon she's going to help us deworm the lambs and other activities.
That's what you expect when you go to Aunt Peg and Uncle Pat's.
Yeah. So there was no wool. I did while I was going through the tour of the costumes. No wool, so I can't even legit it.
Surprising.
Well, if there was, it wasn't prominent.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, but very cool.
I had a great weekend too.
Excellent.
And I didn't get stuck anywhere.
Yeah.
My dad and my stepmom were visiting, so they basically handled the children all weekend while we went and did various things.
That's great.
Yesterday, I went for a really long hike in the White Mountains with Cody. Actually couldn't even come. He had a show to do, and I got to stop. It was actually very cute. I drove up to the White Mountains by myself, met our friend Doug, who lives down in Boston, and we hiked up North and South Kinsman Mountain.
Wow.
Went back down. The funniest thing, I will share this story, is I had my big backpacking backpack because, first of all, I haven't done it in a while, so I forgot everything I needed to take. So I was like, I'm just going to take the big bag. I'll carry everything. Second of all, I'm breastfeeding, and I knew this hike was going to be over the span of time that I would need to pump. So I just threw my entire tote bag that's like a regular working pump tote, and thankfully mine isn't a plug into the wall type. It's you charge it. Technology.
But you hiked. You said 10 miles. You're hiking. Well, how much did your backpack weigh?
Oh, it wasn't too bad. But it was the funniest thing. We got to the final summit before we were gonna turn and go back, and I found this little shrubby area to like hunker down.
Don't mind me.
Doug, hang out with my dog, please. And I'm like stripping down, pumping on the mountain, and I hear other people coming up, and they're just hearing this. Hey. I took a picture because I'm not going to share it with you all, but I was like, this is a memory of motherhood, of how I still hike the mountains and I took care of my kid at the same time.
That's good.
So
that's good.
It was great though. And then we went out to dinner last night. Oh, and on my drive back, I was going to mention I went through this beautiful little town of Haverhill, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And I knew Cody was playing a show in Haverhill, but the address wasn't in our little shared calendar. So I just decided, turn down my music, roll down the windows, and I was listening. And he was just off the green, but I found him because I heard the band
I
playing.
love it.
So
isn't that green fabulous?
it's so lovely.
Yeah.
And they had these like 3 p.m. concert series. So we
nice.
we stopped. I got some lemonade, which was great after our hike, and it was a great day.
Haverhill, New Hampshire is just vintage. I don't know, New England.
It's so cute.
It's very cute.
Yeah.
Great houses.
So I didn't do any knitting this weekend, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
more.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yeah. So here we are. We're back at the mill. One big change. So big time heat last week, and we are today.
When is it not big time?
I know, and
heat?
we have some serious heat this week. It's really bad.
I keep thinking it's gonna end. Like when I look,
I know.
It does say like at the end of the week it's gonna.
Yeah,
be
you
in
think
the
a storm's
70s.
going to come through, the temperatures are going to break, and it'll be normal, but it's not.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Todd while I was gallivanting around Manhattan with my sisters. I said, Todd, could you do me a favor and go to Home Depot and get a couple of AC units? And he got them. He brought them down to the mill. He installed them.
Cody was here working on a little project for us too, so he saw Todd. I was like,
did
both
he?
of the husbands.
The husbands are working on the mill, and we're
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll make enough of a dent. The big challenge, and I think we've covered this on other Millcast, is the AC will bring the temperature down, but what AC units are doing is pulling out the humidity, and yet we need the humidity to keep the fibers under control. So we're going to see if we can find a good balance.
Yeah.
Because it's just brutal.
Yeah, absolutely. So fingers crossed we can work through it.
Yeah.
But it definitely is. It affects the productivity around here. I mean, I can't even work sitting in front of the computer doing some of the stuff
tough.
I need to do.
It's tough.
Yeah.
The other thing we should say is today's the big day. It's been dropped off. We have 1,217 pounds of wool from
6
Vermont.
giant
Rolls.
burlap sausages. And when I say it's like you could we gotta put a picture. They're like bigger than me and much bigger around.
and 3 of them weigh over 220 pounds.
3 of
Three
individuals.
3 individual ones weigh over 220 pounds, and there's 6 altogether.
So where did you get this wool?
This is wool from a farm in northern Vermont.
Okay.
Gwen Hinman, who is our ace shearer, clued me into it. She said, "It's one of those. I may have a deal for you." It's a little bit secret. I don't know more than that.
Okay.
But the reason I was very interested is it's Rambouillet.
And
Rambouillet is really and it's super soft. So I'm really excited to see how it goes. And knock on wood, the freight company should show up today.
They may interrupt us this morning.
They may. So they're going to come in with what's called a lift gate, which allows on the back of the semi for a door to go down, and the forklift will go. And they've said, yes, they can roll them onto the forklift.
Good.
And put them into the semi. So that should happen today, which, another experiment.
Well, we at least have been down this road with getting wool down to Chargeurs to get scoured. And because it's Rambouillet, I'll be interested to see how much of the vegetable matter that's in it can come out.
Right.
Because in our facility, I think we're a little less able to get stuff out. But I think they have a different sort of process.
I'm hoping some of it can come out from scouring. Scouring is the cleaning. And then if there's any remaining, we have 2 options. One, hope that our picker and carter will take out some. Or if we get to sections that are nasty, we pull them out and keep going. Because there's no way we could card that 1,200 pounds before we sent it to Chargeurs. That wasn't an option.
Oh no.
So that's we're going to see.
Skirt it?
I meant skirt it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
No, we could not possibly have skirted it, meaning go through the individual fleeces and check them out. So,
but our Border Leicester blend that we've been doing a lot of solids with, that was the first experiment with sending a bunch of wool down to Chargeurs, and it came back very clean. Border Leicester has a lot less crimp, and it doesn't hang on to vegetable matter like a
and by vegetable matter, it's the hay.
Hay, mostly like the winter stuff. They're eating hay. They're dropping it on their buddies while they're eating it.
They're eating, talking on their backs. It gets stuck in, and if there's a lot of lanolin, it's like glue.
And the crimp, So like our breeds that we both raise Corriedale is pretty similar to Rambouillet. They get it stuck in there if you're not careful. So we shall see.
We shall see. It's an experiment. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we've got kind of a fun thing to show.
Yeah, I think we alluded to it last time. I can't remember how much we showed you, but we have 5
new sport weight.
Yeah.
So we had 5 already, and these are the newest 5. And we basically said some of our best sellers we would add to it. So we have Carnival is now in light, and in the clearing, very popular in the light. And then the other 3 were our new colorways. Heyday, Midnight Plum, and Tangerine Twist.
Yep.
And they're just, boy, are we loving how this is knitting up. Some folks have shared with us what they've been knitting, and people have come in, and it's really yummy.
So what are we up to? 10 colors?
10 colors.
Wow.
10 colors plus
solids.
10 colors plus the solids, which are undyed, which is that kind of creamy white, and that farm fresh that we were talking about, the 1,000-pound blue-faced Leicester. Yep. We have that as well.
Yeah, this one's really
that's going to be, the Carnival.
The Carnival's so fun. And I just want to put a note, I think we talked about it before, but we only have 1 skein of each of these here, but as you all probably know, this variegated yarn, every skein is different.
Very different.
With the lighter weight, it even accentuates the difference.
Right, because you're drafting it so much that pink that was drafted is getting drafted way even further. So
it's just a longer section,
right,
which means like within a skein, you're going to get less of the total amount of types of changes. That was a confusing way to say it. Every skein is a little bit different. So what we've tried to do on the website, if you're looking for this yarn, is include different photos of the various types of skeins versus like a representative sample.
Yeah.
But as you're shopping online, it's hard to know what you're going to get. So we want to say on the website, there is a place you can put order notes on your cart page.
Mm-hmm.
So if you did like, oh, I really want a Carnival with more blue than pink, or more pink than blue, or
then we'll do everything we can to match that up.
Or less marling. Marling is where you got, let's see,
2 different colors wrapped together.
That's like this purple section here.
Yeah.
You see how it's like a little bit of a barber pole stripe, as they say. We have skeins that are just chock-a-block full of that, and some not as much. Some that barely have any. Like this Carnival, it's pretty much
solid.
no marling.
Yeah.
So if you want to control a little bit more and not get a surprise, you can put in an order note, or you can book a virtual shopping appointment and actually get one of us or Liz or one of our staff to help you, say this one or this one, and you get to pick. So. Just want to put
Trying to
make
it easy. Yeah.
Or go to your local yarn shops, because some of them are carrying Making Tracks Lite these days too.
Yes, they are. So I want to say maybe 3 months ago, could have been a little more. I get this email from a woman named Terri.
Yep.
I believe she's in the UP, Upper Peninsula of Michigan. She's definitely Michigan.
Okay.
But I want to say the UP. Terri, you can correct me if I'm wrong. And she's talking about a pattern that she's working on, and I'm paying attention, and then I see it, and I'm like, oh my God, that is the cutest thing I've ever seen, the cutest. And she said, yeah, I was thinking of doing it with Making Tracks, and I was like, hey, and then I sent her some colors to enjoy, and oh my Lord.
Yeah, they turned out really cute.
Are you ready? Okay.
This is the Betty Confetti dress.
Is that, let me go down. Is that the cutest? And we have pictures, we're going to show Maeve in it?
Yeah, we'll definitely show Maeve. She sent these samples because I said we're going to need to have Maeve model these a little bit.
Yeah.
So here you'll see pictures of her.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So that is Pumpkin Patch and
I think Carnival?
And Carnival? That sounds right. Yeah. Because it's got the blue. So the main body is Pumpkin
Patch.
Patch.
It almost looks like zinnia. Where is this hot pink coming from? I thought it was Pumpkin Patch too, but that's not Pumpkin Patch.
That's not Pumpkin Patch.
Might be zinnia.
Might be zinnia.
Okay, it's a mystery.
Let's say zinnia.
It's 2 skeins of Making Tracks.
And let me show you it in a very different. So that's bright and fun. And then this one, ready?
Yeah.
Subtle. This is definitely Valley Fog is the body.
I think, and Carnival again.
And Carnival again for the hem. I'm going to bring you in to see the hem. And the top. I mean, how sweet
you gotta
is
show
that?
The buttons.
And then I got to show you the buttons. Look at the buttons. I mean, is this the most adorable? Wow.
Yeah, it's super cute. Maeve was excited to model these dresses, so it was really fun to see her.
Yeah. So it's called Betty Confetti.
Betty Confetti.
It's on Ravelry.
Yeah, we can show this one.
Yeah,
this is with the solids. I think she ended up going in the pattern calling for just Making Tracks and Making Tracks. I really like how the solid knits up with the Making Tracks as well. So this is a color we no longer have.
It's forest floor. But we have lily pad
and then a solid blue for the solid. But I think that's really cool.
And you could do farm fresh solid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this looks
it's just
so
absolutely adorable. Of course, if you knit this for a grandchild, you got to make sure the mom knows, as you all know, it's wool.
It's wool. Don't put it in the washing machine.
Put it in the washing machine.
God forbid.
But these are just adorable.
Yeah, they're super cute, and I'm sure they knit up pretty fast too.
Yeah, absolutely. And so these are on. This is Betty Confetti is on Ravelry, and I think she has.
In the show notes.
I think she has 6 different sizes. I don't know if it
8,
starts.
I think.
Oh, is that many?
And I think it starts at like 3 months or something. So
is it that small?
Infants all the way up to toddlers and young children.
I know some of these are 2T. So
yeah, we've got I think a 2T, 3T, 4T maybe. Cool. But yeah. So thanks for letting us borrow your samples, Terri. And we
it's been fun to have things for adults. I think this is the first time I was like, oh, something you could do with a kid. Yes. I am curious how it would knit up in the sport weight.
I think it would knit up really cute.
I know.
I think you could probably do it on the same needle size too to get a similar.
Yeah.
We've heard folks have been knitting this with the same needles as the DK weight, and because it is such a crimpy fiber, especially after you block it, it tends to bloom up and it makes a lighter weight fabric. But it, try it if you're curious. We don't have any samples here like that, but it's pretty cool.
So that's that.
Well, what are we knitting?
Well, I'll be honest with you. When you're gallivanting around New York, you don't get any knitting done. Yeah. And when you're working in a mill where it's 85, 90 degrees, you don't want to really go home and start knitting.
You don't?
Do you?
I did a little bit.
I didn't get any done.
Well, we'll just show our progress anyways. As part of the knit along.
Or lack thereof.
To remind you, we are knitting Ona Walden's pattern, the Lindal Sweater. You're doing the cardigan.
Yes, I am doing the cardigan, and I'm doing it out of my sheep, Savage Heart Farms.
Which is available
charcoal,
for you all
which
online.
I just love. It's a deep dark. I'll show you. I'm doing it out of this beautiful dark, and then
I love that one.
Then my matching is the Plum
Midnight
Plum. And I'm sorry, I haven't done any more than what you saw last time.
Really
so there it is.
Show you mine.
Oh God! Oh, look
I've got
at you.
like a whole fin.
You've got
that.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Let's roll this one up. Oh, nicely
done. And what
done.
I'm doing right now, I'm really excited about because I'm getting to that angled bit that I was talking about. So I'm doing a lot of short rows in the main body.
Yep.
You can just see the start of the sort of angular.
I can. Now drop it down a little. Let's see that.
So
it's sweet.
Not a ton of variegation yet, but it's sort of changing from a very light grayish pink to a greenish pink mix.
Right, because you're doing it with the tangerine.
Yes.
Which has a little bit of mint green in it.
Yep. I'm doing it with this, so it's going to get a lot more vibrant pretty soon. This is Tangerine Twist, and then I love this burnt orange.
Yeah. Wow.
Farm Fresh. And I am having a really fun time with this. Just like I said last time, it's a page turner of a knit. I did want to share, after I talked about it last time, what I did is I put...
you put numbers on you. Yeah.
My stitch markers. So there's A, there's 1, there's 2, and so on. I just took we have little Avery labels around here. I just wrote them on there, cut them out, and stuck them on. Hopefully they stick, because it is very handy to have little... Okay, I could count, but I now know just by looking. Okay, I'm at stitch marker 5, and I'm done with this section or whatever.
Wow, nicely done. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I just I've been watching TV and knitting, and honestly, I now that I'm like in the rhythm of this pattern, I do think you can kind of, it's not a mindless knit, but for me, I'm able to watch TV and do this.
Good.
So
maybe done.
Maybe that's bragging.
No.
But I don't think at first I was like, oh, it's kind of complicated, and now I'm like, okay, I know what wrap and turns are. I know what the other sort of
2 different short rows. Wrap and turn, and what she's calling DS, or sometimes known as the German short row.
I did one mistake that I did make that I'll share because I managed to recover from it is. Ona suggests ways of like carrying the main color or the contrast color with you. Yeah. And I just misread it when I was doing this last little shape up here. So I carried my main color like she meant to carry it horizontally, and I had carried it down vertically. And I didn't want to have a long tail when I joined it again, so I ended up ripping out and undoing a shape. And you know what? Because this yarn is like woolly wool, I feel like it holds its shape pretty well if you need to do some minor surgery. But I had all my stitch markers out. I had it on the table, like putting the needle back through. It was fine, and now I'm back off to the races.
Nicely done.
But yeah,
whew.
It's fun.
Great.
Yes. So we'd love to see how you all are doing with it. I did. I don't think I mentioned on the Millcast. We're selling bundles at a 10% discount for this sweater, but I added 2 new colorways.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
For the green and the sea glass, and the sort of gray, we're using our North Country Cheviot, and the Day's End, which it's called, I think I made Stone's End is what I called it, but it's just kind of a neutral, pebbly looking one. It looks phenomenal. But yeah, so that's what we'll both be knitting for some time.
Yeah, and we've been talking about it on social media, and if you've been watching any of his stuff on social media, Amanda and I have been getting a little goofy, talking to camera, getting very animated.
The algorithm likes it. I don't know.
Yeah, evidently, when you make an idiot of yourself, they love you on Instagram. So
I don't know. We're small business trying to
figure it out. But I watched the video that I did standing there with the mannequin. I felt like I was doing a used car sales.
Oh my God, Peggy! The new sweater sale, the unknit sweater sale.
Now, do it now. Oh Lord, God.
So forgive us, everybody.
We're trying different things out. Yeah. So.
But on the same vein of the knit along, we've got a few events in the calendar.
Yeah, we want to knit along with you.
Yes, so we did this for a couple of our knit alongs, but the virtual knit nights have been really fun. So I think we announced it last time, but if not, just to say it again, July 31st, it's a Wednesday, 7 p.m. We're going to put a Zoom link out on our website and social and newsletter. We don't have it yet, but join us. Bring your knitting. Yeah. Ona is going to be there too, so she can answer pattern questions.
That'll be great. That'll be great.
Yeah, or just talk about what we're liking about the pattern. What's a challenge?
Yeah, I'd love to see the different color combos.
Oh, I'm so excited, and I hope you all are having fun with it too. And then once you're finished with it, or even if you're like pretty close to being done when Rhinebeck rolls around, bring your sweater. Come to New York Sheep and Wool Fest if you're coming, and meet up with us on the hill at 2 p.m. on Saturday.
Saturday, October 19th.
Yep.
2 p.m.
We want to take a group photo. We want to see all your sweaters.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
You don't even have to finish it to be in the group picture. Just bring it. So it'll be great.
Yeah, come by the booth too.
Well, I feel like the AC is working a little bit. We're in this back part of the room, so we're not even where the AC units are. I'm not dying like I was last Millcast.
It's still early.
It's later than it was last time.
This is true. Anyway, other activities. We have an open house August 2nd at 3 to 5. Join us at the open house.
We usually do them first Friday.
Yeah. That is our usual goal. And August will be the same. It'll be the first Friday in August, which happens to be August 2nd, 3 to 5. It'll probably be toasty, but that's a great time to buy wool. Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't stop people last time, shockingly. And then we've got, on the cooler end of things, hopefully, the Vermont Sheep and Wool Fest is our first official fiber festival.
Yeah, first fest of the season. Yeah, and that's just one of the best. It's
Do you know the dates of that one?
Yeah, October 5 and 6. It's at the Tunbridge World's Fair grounds in Tunbridge, and it's nestled between these two hills that usually are just lit up with color. It's really lovely.
Fall perfection.
And it's a good size. There's plenty of vendors, but you're not like shoulder to shoulder.
You're not throwing elbows.
No, you're not. There's no elbow throwing.
There's a lot of beautiful sheep to check out.
Yeah.
Alpaca.
Yeah. Sheep shearing demos.
Maple creamies. We talked about this before. And I still don't you're not a sweets person like I am, but Peg's like, where do they the creamies? I'm like, it is to Vermont.
I've been to this thing for like 7 years in a row. Yeah, maple creamies? What maple creamies?
It's just like at New York Sheep and Wool when they've got their little cider donut stand. It's the same thing. It's up sort of out of the way, but it's a standalone building.
I think I'll be having a maple creamy there.
I'm gonna force you.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, we gotta get our
down.
picture in front of
Yeah.
the
Eating the maple
creamies.
creamy.
Oh, they're so good. It's just.
Do you have
soft.
to have it on a cone, or can it be in a cup?
It can be in a cup. We had what do we have? We had like a milkshake last year. Maeve
Oh,
was
really?
into that. We got it all the ways last year. I think they even do like maple donuts. You can you can dip them in your.
Oh my gosh.
It's excessively mapley and it's amazing.
Excellent. I love it. All right, you ready to get back to work at the mill?
No, it's too hot.
We got a lot. We got a lot to do. So
we do. All right. Well, we will see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.